is he?
He's gone.
What happened?
It's over.
What?
Is he dead?
The temporal radiation is just too high.
What did we do wrong?
I don't know. What happened? I don't know. I don't know.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing all that beautiful YouTube stuff. If today is the day we earn that subscription, you hit that red subscribe bar down below. You let us know about the subject we're talking about. If you want to be a part of the march to 300 subscribers, come on. You help us out, because only together can we go straight to the moon, baby. In order for our community to grow, our channel to grow, you have to help us out, guys. We are trying our best here to put out some interesting content, and let us know what you think down below. But today we're going to be getting into Loki Season 2, Episode 4, called The Heart of the T.V.A. Of course, starring Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Owen Wilson as Mobius, Jonathan Majors as Victor Timely, Gugu Mbatha Raw as Ravonna Renslayer, Tara Strong as Miss Minutes, Sophie DiMartino as Sylvie, Wunmi Masaka as B-15, Ki-Hugh Kwan as Obi or Ouroboros, Eugene Cordero as Casey, Kate Dickia as General Dox, and Raphael Cassell as X5 or Brad. Now, we pick up with this episode basically kind of where we're leaving it, where we left it last week, where Mobius and Loki were finally able to get Victor Timely to the T.V.A., the Time Variance Authority office, so they can fix the machine that is melting down and overloading with all of the multiverse, different threads of reality going through it, okay? Picture a bunch of ropes going into this machine to be tied into one big rope, okay? That's what's going on with these time streams. There's so many time streams coming together to be woven into one big reality that the machine that's there to regulate that is overloading. And in order for them to fix this problem, they need to get a variant of he who initially they were looking for Miss Minutes, but being that they tracked it down and seen a variant of he who remains named Victor Timely, they decided to go after him, Loki and Mobius, to bring him back to the T.V.A. to help fix this problem with Obi and Casey. Ravonna and Miss Minutes got to him first. However, Sylvie helped out in the end, even though she wanted to take him out, because she knew that a part of him was like her, someone willing to take them out because of something they didn't do, and she didn't want that on her conscience. This guy, Victor Timely, has yet to do anything. So it leads into the thing of, can you convict someone of future crimes they may commit because of past behavior of one of their variants, right? So when they get back to the office, the T.V.A., he goes and he sees, he's so overwhelmed and overtaken by what he's seen that can be created with his mind. It took him a little while to get to the time loom in order to figure out what the issue is. And when they get there, Obi and Victor Timely each tell each other how they learned so much from the other one. It kind of was the chicken and the egg. Was Victor Timely the one who wrote the T.V.A. handbook because he wound up creating the T.V.A., or was it Obi who wrote it, or did Obi write it because of Victor Timely's teachings, or did vice versa? So there's a fun little thing there, and they decide to Obi decides to use a model on what they're going to do in order to get this machine working, because Victor Timely winded up having the solution, which was to make parts of the machine bigger so there could be more threads put together without overloading the machine. But that required someone to go out of the protected area and possibly face radiation and death and destruction of themselves. Also in this time period, General Dox, who was captured last week, is sitting in the holding cell with X5/Brad, right? Our actor from episode 2 or 3, Zaniac, right? And they're talking about, like, they want different things. General Dox still wants to help the T.V.A., but she feels like it's got to be done differently. B-15 wants to help the T.V.A., but she feels like it should be done differently. And Brad just wants to go back to the timeline to live his life, and not for nothing, in a way I can completely understand how it is living a life that you don't want, or knowing that you could be living a life that's better than the one you're living now, but you can't get to that life because of perceived expectations and actions that you should be doing or shouldn't be doing for the greater good, right? And not be selfish, but when you find out that your whole reality was nothing but a facade, why would you want to continue living like that, is how he's feeling. And General Dox and B-15, even though they have different ways of wanting to help the T.V.A., they know that the better way is to be working together, not necessarily solo. And there was a chance for them to work together, but when B-15 had to go do some things, Ravonna Renslayer and Miss Minutes wind up making their way into that holding cell and trying to convince her and her people to help them take back over the T.V.A. and go back to how things were, and she basically refused, and Brad winded up not necessarily helping Ravonna kill them, but his lack of action, and him just sitting there and watching them die was enough to know that he's willing to sacrifice anything, even the relationship of the people that he worked with, who are also a part of what's happened to him that has happened to them, right? So he decides to help Ravonna and Miss Minutes in the meantime, and we get to see in this episode who pruned Loki from episode 1. And it was Loki, right, pruning himself, because he was in the T.V.A. and he winded up doing the scene with Sylvie where she's like, "Oh, I found you," whatever, like that, and he realized what it was that had just got done, and it's kind of blown his mind a little bit, and realizing that it was him who pruned himself, kind of like a Harry Potter thing, I did the Patronum. It was me who did the Patronum to save myself, right? So that's kind of how that played out. And at some point, Ravonna was able to get her hand on Victor Timely because he was amazed by a hot chocolate machine, vending machine, and when he went is when she was able to get her hands back on him. But Loki and Mobius were able to save him once again when Sylvie mentally manipulated Brad into pruning Ravonna. So now she's off at the end in that where Eliath is, right? And all those people. So I'm wondering how that's going to work out. I wonder if we'll see maybe classic Loki and Kid Loki again, and Alligator Loki and Frog Loki and President Loki and all these other Lokis, right? I wonder if they'll remember her, right? Remember Ravonna Renslayer. And so, we're going to have to see what happens to her. They make it back finally to the TVA after all this distraction to do this machine so the meltdown can stop. And Victor Timely said he'll go bring the thing out to connect, right? And as soon as he goes out, he just turns to spaghetti. Like he just is done. He's dead. He's done. He's done. And everyone just stops and is like, what the hell? Like thinking they still have more time, and then there seems to be a rip and a tear, and then kind of you see Loki looking out, and it seems like a flash is coming towards them, and that's where the episode ends. So it seems like maybe there's going to be some obviously further adventures of these guys, but I wonder if this is going to lead them to being separated throughout time to help finish up the season and try to refix this multiverse. I don't know how they're going to do this, but I definitely feel like this has been a decent season, man. Pretty action-packed, and I'm definitely, or at least enough of intrigue, right, to say that's keeping me invested into what the next episode is going to be. And so I'm firmly enjoying it more than season 1 for that reason. And for it to end on the cliffhanger it did, I'm definitely interested in seeing how season 5 episode 5 plays out. I'm giving Loki 3 more years, I guess, right? Based off of this season, I'm greenlighting it. Go for it, Kevin Feige. But yeah, I thought this episode was really good. It's definitely, I put it up there as an 8 out of 10 for sure. I love the acting in this. I love the nuances that they're trying to add to some of these characters, and I think that it's bringing up some really good talking points about what you would do in this situation, knowing that everything you thought was your life isn't your life. Oh, and the big thing that Ravonna found out was that her memories were wiped by He Who Remains, right? So she found out that all the memories have been wiped. And again, it just goes to trying to take your life back into your hands when you've been so out of control with it and not in charge of it, and all the feelings that come with that, And I think that they're handling this pretty well. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this season a bit more. You let me know down below what you think is going to happen next after this cliffhanger. You let me know if this season is better than season 1 or this season is total trash. You'll let me know. But until next time, peace, Snookums.